All right, hello, welcome. This is Diane Cunningham Ellis. I am your Brave Creations coach, and I am here and excited to share with you my friend Julie. Julie doesn't know this, but at the beginning of all of our calls, we start with a prayer. So I'm going to go ahead and do that like I always do. And we will welcome more women into the room as soon as they get here. And we're going to have a great conversation going on in the chat. That is where I want you to introduce yourself and tell Julie where you live. You're going to get to hear where she lives and some really cool things about her. We're going to do this really interview style. There's no PowerPoint. We've had enough of those. We're going to do this interview style. I'm going to pull up something, her website behind the screen. I have like 4 or 5 of her things printed out in front of me because I like paper and I like to use it. And so you're going to get to see and experience 3 of her free things she has to offer if you want. I mean, guess what? You're the boss of you. You can buy something from Julie. You can get a free thing from Julie, or you can do absolutely nothing. I hope you don't. I hope you do something. That's why we're here, to make a difference, to do something new, to learn a new way, to really live our calling. And we're doing that whether we're in the United States or London. We're doing that, and we can reach people. This is what I want you ladies to hear and see today. You're going to reach people that don't live down the street from you. In fact, you're supposed to. You need to. We have to get out of our own small thinking because there's people everywhere that need what you have. All right, let me pray. Father God, thank you so much for this time together today. Thank you for learning, growing. Thank you for awareness that leads to us to action so that we can actually do what we've been gifted to do. Help us to get out of our own way and your way. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, more women to let in. I'm excited to have you ladies here. Please keep introducing yourself into the chat room so Julie knows who you are and where you are. We have California covered. We have New Mexico. We've got Florida. We've got Missouri. We've got lots of different people here. And so I don't have her bio pulled up. I'm just going to share off the cuff from my friend Julie. Julie and I are in a mastermind together. I host masterminds. A couple of you are in mine. Brave Creations Inner Circle is mine. One of the girls in there yesterday said, "Oh, I need to be in a mastermind." I said, "You are in a mastermind." And she was like, "Oh, good." I said, "Well, yeah, it is good." And so Julie and I are in it's called the Profitable Playground. We're in there together. We're learning together. And we're growing together. And, I believe in reaching out. I believe in connecting with other people because Julie has things that I have not, I need to know. And I'm sure I have things she needs to know. And so we had a little chit chat and I said, "Would you be willing to share with my peeps?" And she said, "Of course." And so Julie lives outside of London in Surrey. She's also created, she used to design websites. This is the Diane version of Julie's bio. She'll tell you the official one in a second. But she's designed websites. She's created a marketing agency. And what we really bonded over is I created in 2010 the National Association of Christian Women Entrepreneurs. Julie created something very similar called Women Unlimited. And in-person events, virtual events, all the things. And she doesn't do that anymore. She let that go and let that evolve. And now she has Julie Hall Online. And I'm going to let her, she has, I believe, 2 children, a husband, and a beautiful backyard from what I've seen on Facebook. So Julie, why don't you do the next, whatever I've missed, tell them who you are, and then we'll dive into some questions.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you so much, Diane. And thank you so much for having me in this forum and, having the chance to talk to you and answer questions and stuff. It's always amazing. So I started building websites back in 2001, which was kind of my first foray into digital. And from that, having that skill, and I do really think having being comfortable with technology is actually something that I really encourage everybody to be, even if you don't necessarily know the deeply technical stuff. If you can just get comfortable with the tech, it's going to make your life so much easier as a small business owner. But anyway, so I started building websites and then launched Women Unlimited in 2008. So much like Diane said, my community lasted till 2015. At which point I started working with companies like Google and the some different small business, like government-led small business communities, teaching digital marketing, digital skills, social media. It was a big part of what I did with Women Unlimited, was supporting businesses, small female business owners, with building and growing their business, particularly in the digital space. And then launched my own business called the School of Marketing in 2017, which I still do training. So I do a lot of training for other organizations, and then run Julie Hall Online, which is my kind of small business brand. Particularly, actually, I work with sole traders, experts, coaches, people who are marketing themselves, like building a business around their own knowledge and skills, and do things like online course creation and digital marketing, lead magnets, which, you know, I know some of you have, which is amazing, and sort of SEO and content marketing and all that kind of good stuff. So that's sort of me. And I can just see in the chat that they do call it a garden, a backyard. Interesting. So, and I'm British and Canadian, so my accent's kind of weird. North American people, all they can hear is the British, but British people, all they can hear is the Canadian in my accent. So I'm kind of caught somewhere in the middle, but my family lives in the Toronto area, but I've lived here for almost 30 years. So yeah.
And two kids?
Two kids, yeah, a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old, and a British husband, and two cats, one of which is totally neurotic, and the other one's much friendlier, but she has very sharp claws. So, and she does it in a, like, she thinks she needs to have her claws out when she wants affection, so she'll kind of pad you with her claws, which is not particularly pleasant. It's got to be said, but anyway.
Oh my gosh. Well, welcome to the call, everybody, and those that are getting on late, stay as long as you can. Of course, we're recording, you know, remember, in the digital world, like I've been recording everything for 12 years, you know. So when people say, are you recording? Yes, of course I'm recording it. And so, yeah, Julie and I, like we said, just met, a lot of crossover, a lot of cool things. And I just wanted to bring her to all of you. You know, I was thinking today about, I started interviewing women in 2008 on Blog Talk Radio. Why? Because I found it and it was free. And I was like, this is amazing. What's wrong with you people? Why aren't you doing this? And so I just started finding people that were interesting, setting, and I just decided, you know, here's the deal. You just decide. I just decided I was going to do a Blog Talk Radio show every Thursday morning at 10 a.m. and I was going to fill the slot. If that person didn't show up, guess what? I got to like talk and yak about whatever the heck I wanted for 30 minutes. And I did, you know, and so you can evolve, you will evolve. But the more I bring in other people, the better it is for all of us, right? Because I want you to learn from somebody other than me. I want to collaborate. I want to create things. I want to get you to think a new thought. And, you know, sometimes we can't, it's just like my mom can tell me something all day long, and then like her sister, next door neighbor says the same thing. And you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to do that. And so sometimes you guys will hear something from somebody else and you'll just hear it the right way. So welcome to the call, everybody. Yay. Let me just go ahead, and we're doing this interview style. You'll have a chance at the end to do, you know, ask Julie some questions. Keep those in the chat. If you think of something, put it in the chat in case you can't stay the whole time. And Shelby's helping me. And sidebar, I'm waiting to hear how my mom is doing after her ear surgery. So if I go silent for a minute, you know, you all just carry on. You know, keep talking, Julie. If I if I need to answer the phone or respond to a text, you know, we all understand family is the reason we do all this. And I'm not able to be there right now, but we're just waiting to hear. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a screen share really quickly just to show you. Oh, I had it all ready and then now I lost it. So hold on. You're going to get to see some of my other. Can you guys see Julie's page? Some free things for you. Okay, good. I don't want you to see all my other weird stuff that I do behind the screen. So here's Julie's website, and I have this irresistible lead magnet in front of me. This morning, I think I already had the brand blueprint. I can't remember. The 30-day social media, I just got this morning. So good, so good. And I also have her Canva templates, some purchase things. And I have her digital marketing playbook. So I have got a lot of material right here in front of me, but I just wanted you to see that. That's, in the links in the chat over here. So I am going to go way, way back to some basics. And we're going to be all over the place. You okay with that, Julie?
Yeah, please just go with whatever feels right.
Okay, good. So, digital, I've been doing digital marketing, and I guess I have a strategy of it, but sometimes when you put these words together, you're like, oh gosh, am I doing that? Like, am I doing it right? Did I miss the class? So when you say digital marketing strategy, I know that's huge. Like what does that mean to you? And then we're going to come, narrow in on some of these cool tools about it. What does it mean to you, digital marketing strategy?
Yeah, so I think it's a really good question, Diane. And I'm just going to start with a little story. So this week I have decided, I'll step back to last week. Last week, I realized that I had been really poor at marketing my own business, right? Typical stuff. I teach this to other people, but been so time poor, I've not actually created the space to be able to do my own marketing. So I decided that this week on impulse, I was going to run something called Marketing Week. And for that, I was going to dedicate 2 days this week to focus on my marketing. And then I sat down on Tuesday. I was busy on Monday. I sat down on Tuesday morning in front of my desk and thought, okay, I'm going to plan out all my marketing activity for the next 6 months, which kind of feels like the right thing to do. But the problem is, what I hadn't done was step back and said, actually, what do I want to achieve in the next 6 months? Like, what are my goals, right? What are my business goals? And that has to be the very first step of anything that you do in the marketing context. So is really understanding what kind of revenue you want to generate, how many customers you want to be bringing in, what you want your focus to be, what's your messaging, all that kind of stuff. And I do cover some of this in the social media planner, but you have to start with your business goals. And then you've got to figure out, actually, what is my promotion plan? Like, what are the things that I want to be talking about and selling over the next few months? And I think until you do that, any marketing that you create is marketing noise. Like it's marketing for the sake of marketing without actually having a really clear goal. And so when we talk about digital marketing strategy, the first thing you have to do is figure out what your business strategy is, then what's your marketing strategy, and then only then do you start thinking about what's your digital marketing strategy. And as you said, Diane, there are so many different ways you can market yourself online, right? And and I'm also a great believer that you find the right strategies that suit you and suit your audience. So if you try and do everything, you're going to burn yourself out, and you're probably not really going to achieve the results that you want because you're spreading yourself too thinly across all of those different activities. And you don't need to do everything. You can just focus on one or two really key activities and do them really well. And that will be enough to drive people into your world and ultimately onto your email list, and then hopefully onto your customer list. So when you are trying to figure out what does that look like for you, you want to start by understanding, I'm going to use the term marketing funnel, but I really use it sort of quite loosely in the sense that, you know, at the very top of the funnel, it's really about how do I build awareness about me and my brand and my products and my services so that people can know about me enough to decide that they are going to buy from me. And so the first thing is, how are you going to do that? So how do you build the awareness? But then also, how do you build that attraction factor, which is the next stage? So it's one thing for people to be aware of you. It's another for people to want to stick around for long enough in your world to actually go to like you and build that trust and that connection. And then from there, what's your nurture campaign? So how do you actually develop that relationship with someone so that when you have something to sell, they are absolutely hands up, you're the person I want to learn this from. And it's really just figuring out what, you know, so when we talk about funnels, for me, that's what a funnel means. And there are other ins and outs about upsells and tripwires and all that kind of stuff. But at the very basic foundation, your funnel should look like, you know, building awareness, building attraction, nurturing that relationship and making offers, and then cultivating that and building ongoing loyalty afterwards.
Yes, ma'am. I am like we're typing notes, we're typing cool things. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Nurture, awareness, attraction, nurture, and then
offers.
Offer, yes, make an offer, and then we have
loyalty.
You know, yes, loyalty. Yeah. Love it. Okay, good. I mean, eventually, my friends here in the room, you have to ask somebody to buy something from you. I mean, I hate to break it to you all, but if you have a business, guess what? We need to have some money start exchanging. We're in this for lots of reasons, but you know, if you want to build a business, you're going to have to ask for a sale. And again, I mean, I love what Julie just said. I mean, we can get all complicated with ecosystems and marketing funnels and you know, all sorts of, you know, all these words that if you hear it, you go, oh gosh, I think I'm doing it wrong. I don't know what I'm doing. Well, guess what? You're planting a seed. You're planting a lot of seeds. You're planting seeds in ways that feel maybe more normal or easy. Find the easiest way for you to keep planting seeds. If that's blogging, then you blog. If that's video, then go video. If that is, you know, pick your main places. You can't be everywhere. Like I am all about the Facebook and YouTube. I don't do anything on, you know, I've ignored Twitter and LinkedIn for probably 10 years. You know, you've got to pick your places and be visible, be credible, be you. Don't be trying to be, I don't need to try to be Julie, because I'd be a really bad Julie. I'd be a Julie imposter. And so you would start to go, what's wrong with her? You know, why is she like disconnected? Why is she two-faced? Why is she faking it? So, you know, Julie needs to be Julie. Shelby needs to be Shelby. Stephanie will be Stephanie. And the right people will come to you if you're your authentic you. You're going to make a bunch of mistakes. We call it rough drafting it. You're not going to like wake up one day and create like a beautiful program and sell 100 spots and, you know, be singing songs on Facebook Live about it. That's just not really how it happens.
Sadly.
I know, right? It's like, oh my gosh, I sold 2 tickets. Yay. You know, like, we have to start with the 2, and then, you know, hopefully the 2 will tell 2 others. And, you know, it's like the arc, you know, I mean, the game 2 by 2. But in our grand ego, you know, we think that we need to be farther than we are, but come on back, you know, be where you are and do what you have with what you have in front of you. You know, so anyway, okay, so let's go. And remember, we're going to have lots of time to dive into some questions. So I want to talk, well, this leads me to one of your products is about superpowers. You know, we all have I think we're leading straight into that. So the workbook talks about your marketing superpowers, and really that's your natural talents. And, you know, how would others describe your personality? And what do others love about you? The more we know what this stuff is, so, you know, the more I understand what's my unique selling point, we can call it your USP. Where do you get your energy? And you're going to learn this, guess how? By doing it wrong. Okay? You're going to learn the most by going, well, that wasn't it. And these people are driving me nuts. And so you're going to learn a lot of that by what's energy sucking from you. Are you giving away too much of your time? And, you know, where do you get lit up? What comes fun and easy to you? So tell us a little bit more about these superpowers, Julie.
Yeah, so this was actually something I developed back in 2016. So quite like it was, I realized that from working with different people that some people were just really good at some things and other people were good at other things. I mean, it sounds obvious, sounds bleeding obvious, doesn't it? But the reality is that what we end up doing is learning this, you know, this one guru here is saying to do this, another guru over there is doing that. And you end up putting your energy into marketing activities which feel hard, which feel like you're pushing a big rock up a hill, which are not fun for you and not really working to your strengths. So, and then I'll give you an example. So there's a woman that I was a mentor for, and she was a relationship consultant. She called herself a consultant. She had a PhD. She had lots of experience in helping people, couples particularly, sort out their relationships. And she was like, but I really hate social media. It's such a drag. I really don't enjoy it. And I said, that's fine. What she loved more than anything, these were in the days we could go out, was speaking, right? So what she would find, she would go to a speaking event. She would usually get about 10 people that would come up to her at the end. She would collect their details, arrange a call with them, and she was converting at about 80%. I know, right?
Yeah, wow.
So her funnel is speaking, get contact details, have a call, make an offer. Now, you know, all of that doesn't require her to be spending all her time creating Instagram reels or being on Facebook or writing blog posts. All it requires her to do is spend her time going out and either being interviewed, so using speaking, her gift with speaking, and she is obviously, you know, with a PhD, she's obviously incredibly intelligent. So she talked about the science of relationships, which really attracted a particular audience, right? So it gave her a unique angle, and just develop those relationships, get interviewed by people, speak on other people's stages, and then get on a call. That's all she needed to do to build her business, rather than chasing rainbows, right? Doing all the things that people say to do. And so from that, I was like, okay, so why are we telling people to do all this stuff when it's not necessarily going to serve them? So if you like writing, blogging, SEO, you know, that's your gift, right? There's another woman I know who's got an amazing community here in the UK, like a huge community. And her gift is making everybody that she talks to feel like you are her best friend, right? She's like kind of one of these super networkers. But she uses that. So what she's done is she's used that skill to get political involvement in her community, to bring other people on board, other people to support her community. So instead of you know, creating the content or something, she hires in those pieces. But her superpower is as the networker. Right. So my superpower is teaching, like is live training is my gift. It's a thing. It totally fires me up. I love it. There's a real energy to that. And people most react positively to me, I suppose, is when they see me in a live environment. I just did an Instagram reel because I decided I was going to do I was going to work on this, right? I was going to try, because I feel like video is the thing I need to be focusing on for my own business. But even though I find it so easy to be visible in so many ways, and in a live space like this, super easy. As soon as I'm in a pre-recorded situation, I freeze up. You know, I was saying to somebody today, it's like I'm a figure eight, you know, like my comfort zone, got a big comfort zone here and a big comfort zone down here, and then a really tiny comfort zone in the middle. And I'm trying to expand that comfort zone at the moment. But I was like, it's such a cheese fest, right? My Instagram reel that I've done. I'm like, oh, where's the authenticity? Where's the genuineness? Where's the interest, the passion, the excitement? So, but it's, as you were saying, Diane, it's not until you try these things that you don't know, that you know whether or not something works for you, right? I really want Instagram Reels to work for me, but I know it just feels really inauthentic, uncomfortable, it's not, and I don't think it's going to serve me is the thing. I don't think it's going to help, because where I need to be is in that live teaching space. Other things that people really are good at in terms of their marketing superpower are being great supporters. So, you know, where they get their energy from and their joy from is in providing help for other people. So that's being in Facebook groups, running their own community, serving others through that kind of environment, right? Honestly, I hate it. It's not my bag at all. But when you build a business around the things that really connect with your audience and use those things that make you shine, make people like really become part of your magnetism, then that's, and you double down on that, then that is what you should be focusing on in your marketing. And there is, I can't remember what some of the other, so another one's about somebody that really loves being like doing all the research, right? Like Brené Brown, she's a researcher. And so how she attracts people is through her wisdom and then the knowledge that she shares. So that's how that's her marketing superpower, is just through being that authentic, but also smart, intelligent, and giving us a new way of thinking through the research that she's doing. So it's kind of finding the thing that people really like in you, that you don't even, sometimes we're not even aware of what that is until we ask people, until we you know, start listening to the feedback that people give us. And you kind of, one of the signs is that, you know, people say, oh, you do that so well, right? And you're like, you know, it's usually the stuff that we find really easy that other people don't really, like, they can't really duplicate. They don't have that same energy for the way of doing things.
I have so much to ask and so much to share. So just a real quick question on what you just said. Do you, because I'm about ready to interview all the women from Brave Creative, the women in my high level group, to ask them why they're here, what they like, who they are, you know, why do they keep coming back? Is this something you recommend, you know, because we can't see ourselves, do you, in order to help us see our superpower, do you normally recommend we ask, you know, kind of ask some people for 3 words to describe us, or is there a way that you would suggest we do that?
Yeah, so you definitely can do that. And it sometimes, what's nice about that is it's often a surprise to us, right? You know, it's often surprising as to what other people do like about us or why they are attracted to us. And so asking people for sure can be a good place to start. But also there's an internal piece, which is, what do I really like doing? Like, how do I want to spend my time? You know, do I want to spend my time teaching? Do I want to spend my time supporting? How do I, you know, if I could create my perfect marketing job, you know, from all the activities that we could do, what does that look like? And then really developing and honing those skills, right? So figuring out what those different things are can really just revolutionize your marketing. Like, so, you know, so we've talked about the networker, right? The supporter. There's the writer. So the person who really is great at writing, just expressing themselves through words. There's the curator. So the curator is somebody that's always looking at what's going on in the world and bringing, or in that industry, or in that, in whatever sector you're in, and bringing together all that knowledge for your community. So you tend to be quite community focused when you're curator, but you're also very curious and you want to keep up to date with everything. You've got the personality. So the personality is somebody who's really quirky, tends to be kind of that, they might make funny faces. They tend to be quite high energy. They make no apologies for who they are. You then got the tribe leader. So this is somebody who actively sees themselves as being someone that's pulling together a community and helping to support that community in some way. So and you can be a couple of these. There isn't always just one. So both of us, Diane, when we were running our organizations, would have been in that role. But I know for myself, when I was running Women Unlimited, it was all about the community, not necessarily me supporting them, but it was about bringing the resources to them so that they could achieve their goals. You've then got people that are photographers or creatives. So using that, people that are really great with digital graphics. So you use your ability to make amazing images as part of your attraction strategy. And then there's the kind of, the researcher, the expert, the person who's got all the kind of new knowledge and ideas that they're sharing, and kind of the thought leader as part of their marketing strategy. So then people want to talk to you because they want insight into your knowledge that you've gained. So those are kind of the main groups in the marketing superpowers.
So good. Oh my gosh. So again, and this is just one, the superpowers one is just one of the cool things that Julie has available. And, the reason, the program I'm in where I met Julie, it's called The Profitable Playground. And what attracted me to it was, profit and play. And kind of the woman that we're in with is named Elizabeth Goddard. And, she's just totally herself. She's just completely wackadoo in a good way. Right. And that's attractive to me. It's like, okay, I want to be more and more me and really have the permission, give myself permission to play, give myself permission to explore, give myself permission to see what works and let the rest kind of sift away. You won't know, I won't know which one of these, if I've never played in any of these playgrounds, then I'm not going to know that that's my best playground, or I actually like that thing that I thought I hated, right? Sometimes we have what's called in the 12-step rooms, contempt before investigation, meaning I'm going to decide already that Instagram is not for me, or TikTok is not. I love video. I should be running around and playing on TikTok and doing some things, doing some new things that are like scary for me, right? We all get in our comfort zone. And so then we're like, oh yeah, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to do this. And so our job, the group that I have that most of these women are in is called Brave Women Nation. And we would love for you to come and join us there, Julie. It's about, I'm going to try doing something new today. And that might be a scary thing in my business, like TikTok. I'm not going to break it. I'm sure there's others that have been worse. But like Blog Talk Radio was scary for me in 2008. And then it was easy. And then it's like, okay, YouTube is easy. Okay, Facebook Live feels easy. And so always challenging ourselves to not kind of say, oh, I don't do that, or I can't do that. Give yourself permission to go explore and see if it's a good fit. If it's not, okay. But don't be telling all of us, don't tell me what you can do. Tell me what you can do. Did I say that right? Yeah. I want us to all live in possibility and exploration and curiosity, so that you will find what feels kind of fiery to you. You find a little bit scary, and you get to be your unique self. You get to be your unique self there.
Yeah, the part of the challenge there, Diane, is that we want to be extraordinary at what we do when we've just starting out, right? We kind of want to go not to 60 in 5 seconds. And of course it doesn't work like that. Like, it takes time to get good at stuff. And it does take some cheesy failures, if that's what it is, or things that just don't feel quite right. But it's only through that exploration that we can learn and grow, I think.
Exactly. Okay, I'm going to switch gears to one of your other products.
All right.
Okay. And I'm going to talk about what's called a freebie, a lead magnet. There's a million names for it. I like Julie has been a part of. I'm always like, is this a tripwire? Is this a bump up? Or what? What is it? What is the thing? What am I doing? I'm doing it, but I don't even know what the name of it is. So a lead magnet. Julie has an awesome Canva lead magnet template, which I was just looking at again today. Okay. Now, a lead magnet is your freebie. Okay. You're going to have a lot of them, not just one. You're not going to just have one. You're going to have many of these things. And Julie has 3 freebies on her website. She probably has more hidden and secret ones,
Definitely do.
Yeah. And it's not the end all be all. You're not married to this thing. You're going, like, I'm in the process of making some new ones. I have a couple. I have a 3-day free challenge and a thing, and all these things. So why do we need, let's go way back. Let's go back to the basics. Why do we need one of these, and how often would you add in a fresh one? I don't know. Talk to me about lead magnets.
So I think it's a really good question. So a lead magnet, as you say, is a free thing that you give to somebody, usually in exchange for their email address. So that, very simply, that's what it is. And the reason you want to do it is because when you have somebody's email address, you can email them, and then you can start to build but even that's not the end goal. The end goal is to build a relationship and build that nurture, build that relationship with people, give them a chance to give you a chance to serve them, but also give them a chance to learn from you, for you to support them in whatever way that might be. And some of that's going to be free and some of that's going to be paid for. But if you don't have people on your email list, then it's very easy for them to go back out into the big wide internet world and never come across you again. So a lead magnet gives you that opportunity to develop a relationship. And that's all it is. That's all it is. How many do you need? One can be enough. So this goes back to what you were saying, Diane, is you start where you are, right? Start with something that feels really easy for you, but is also going to be super useful for your ideal customer. And so lots, I'm sure Diane teaches about the ideal customer, but I have kind of a slightly different take on it, because I know there's lots of people out there who recommend that you go really deep into understanding your customer, understand what's keeping them up at night, what are they cooking for dinner, what's their favorite hobby, what time do they wake up, what time do their kids start crying, when do they have to, right? And I'm just like, no, but you do need to know generally who your customer is. So like kind of you create a segment, so I teach demographic segmentation in one of my big digital courses I teach to corporates. But when we're talking about this as an individual, you want to understand what are those commonalities. The thing you want to focus on is what are the commonalities in your group. So do they tend to be people like in your case, Diane, like you work a lot with coaches, right? And you're helping people to start out in this entrepreneurial space and on all the things that go along with that. So they tend to be people that are fairly fresh into this world. Would you agree? And
yes.
So, and you help them and you support them along that way. And so what you know about them is, and also I suspect they will fall within a particular age group. So, because you will naturally attract women that are within your own kind of age range. So when I was running Women Unlimited, my audience would tend to be 35 to 55. probably hasn't changed a great deal, to be honest. Maybe it's aged up a little bit. So maybe 35 to 60, because, let's face it, 60 is the new 30, right? I say that at 53, because I'm telling you, I am, I am not getting older, not yet. um, so so you kind of know the age range, but why this matters is that then you can start using the language that's going to resonate with them. You can use imagery that feels like who they are, like they recognize themselves. So when I was running Women Unlimited, most of my audience were professional women or ex-professional women who were starting out in their own business. And they tended to be kind of 6 to 18 months in, and were finding it harder than they thought they were going to. And they came into this community, they met other people, they felt supported, they were learning digital skills, they were improving their business and developing and growing their business. And so in my imagery, it wouldn't have made any sense. And so it wouldn't have made any sense for me to show pictures of women doing craft businesses or artists, because that's not who my audience were. And so the more you know about that, the easier, easier your marketing becomes, because all of your messaging is really speaking to that woman or man, depending on who your audience is, in a way that's going to resonate and connect with them. So you start with, I got up totally on a tangent. Completely forgot what your original question was, Diane.
Oh my gosh. And that's why I love you. That's why I love you. I don't remember what it is either. So we're fine. I mean, we're fine. I think it was about, and I'm just going to
it was about the lead magnet thing, wasn't it? Yeah. So when you create your lead magnet, the more you know about your customer segment, and you think about what are the challenges, like what's the pain that they're facing, right? Like what are the things that they're really struggling with? And then you create the first step. You create something that is so valuable, it's a really hard and easy yes. And people just put their hands up. And I'll give you an example. So there's a woman I've got a program which is called Captivating Courses. And she launched her lead magnet last Thursday, right? She's a web developer. She's never done any kind of digital marketing for herself. She supports her clients. And she created basically a checklist of everything you needed to know before you decided what to get a website. So she talked about hosting, like all those techie bits. And she launched it last Thursday, and she's had 16 people on her list in a week. Like, I'm just like, that's amazing. Such a simple thing, but she's specifically speaking to people who don't really understand how websites work. So that's her first step. This is how websites work. And then that then becomes a thing. So you create your lead magnet, and you choose the thing that answers a question that your customer really has. And then you start to build your content, your marketing, your social media around that content. So in her case, she's got, I don't know how many things she's got on there, maybe let's say 15. She can then create a social post for each one of those 15 items and encourage people to go back to her lead magnet to download the lead magnet, to find out the other 14. And then she, once they're on the list, then she can help and support them with that whole idea. And ultimately, her goal is to sell courses on how to build your own website. So she's looking for people that aren't going to be investing thousands of pounds in websites, but people that want to do it themselves. And she's just leading them down that road. And you can see how that journey from, here is how websites work, to, let me teach you how to build your own website. You can start to see how that path works, right?
Yeah.
So when you're creating your lead magnet, you want to make sure that your lead magnet is supporting your customer, but is also supporting your business.
Yes. And one of the things that was a new way of thinking that I want to bring to the table here, I had heard about marketing funnels, for 10 years or longer. But one of the new ways of thinking of that I heard from our coach, Lizzie, was your ecosystem. You know, if I land on planet Diane, you know, planet Julie, if I land on planet, you know, Susan, yeah, what's, you know, where's the start here button? Like, where do I, you know, start here? Where do I look to kind of, you know, where's the entrance to Disneyland? You know, there is an entrance and you pay to get in, and then like afterwards you can make a lot of choices. But when we have this ecosystem kind of concept, which I've taught to some of my women, it was very powerful for me to think of. So from this freebie, where's the next logical place that Patty needs to go next? Or Shelby will probably need A or B or C after this one. You know, and you remember our clients are coming to us to give them knowledgeable recommendations. You know, if I go to the podiatrist about my toe situation, I'm hoping that they're going to say, hey, you know, I do this, I've done 20 of these this week. You know, this is what I would recommend. You could do blank, you might do blank, but hey, you might end up having to come on back. And so we want to be able to remember we are the ones, you know, we're not going to be the best of everything. And we certainly are not claiming that, but I know more than a few. And you know, and I'm getting coached by those. I mean, I'm always getting coached. I know most of you are. Like, we're always getting coached by someone who has gone to the next village and, you know, paid for the next training to come on back and teach me how to, you know, make that next little saute. And so now I'm going on a rant, but I mean, I want to remind you guys, your freebie, like I just found this one that I wrote in 2016 or longer. You know, it's like, I can repurpose this little bugger, you know, 10 simple ways to use your knowledge to get clients in the next 30 days. Well, I just need to freshen this up and like, you know, make it pretty on Canva. Cause you know, I don't think I had Canva in 2016. I had to pay a lady, you know, I'd pay a lady every month. And so remember, you might already have 5 things like on your back wall that you could turn into a freebie. And you're like, oh yeah, everybody knows that. No, they do. They don't know that. They don't know that. They don't have the checklist. They don't have the training that you have. And we have to remember, not everybody knows what we know. We think they do. And sometimes we're astonished. So let me go to one more question and then we'll kind of start opening it up for some others. So I know I referred to this. So we have our freebie lead generator, kind of an opt-in. What is a tripwire? What is a order bump? What are some of those kind of next level things, Julie?
So tripwire is something that you are selling off the back of your freebie. So when you offer a free thing, when somebody goes to the thank you, you know, here's your download, instead of sending somebody to that page, you send them to a sales page. So what you'll find with my lead magnet checklist is it will take you to a sales page for my Canva lead magnet Canva template at a discounted price. So I sell in pounds. So my regular price for my template is £27. But if you get within 30 minutes, I think, of landing on that page, you get the Canva template for £17. So it's almost half price, right? So it's a much it's a much better price. As Patty just said, that's where I bought the Canva template. But also what's funny is I often see people will then sign up for under a second email because they want the Canva template, right? So they're not just, it definitely works. What's the benefit of that is it means that you can make money from people signing up to your free list. And again, with the tripwire, you want it to be relevant to the freebie that they've signed up for. So I've got on my digital marketing playbook, I can't remember what the tripwire is. Oh no, I don't give that away free anymore. I'll talk about that in the order bumps. I think on the social media planner, I can't remember, it should go to my digital marketing playbook, which was actually, talking about repurposing, it was a free training that I just did back in October. So it was a completely free, it was something I felt like I wanted to do and share this knowledge. And then at that time, so here's an interesting one. So it was a free webinar. And then my tripwire on that was, if you want the recording, so people could watch it for free for 5 days. If you want the recording and the workbook that goes along with it, it's going to cost you £12. Mm-hmm. And I had probably 35% of the people that signed up for the free training sign up for the paid version of the digital marketing playbook. And what was great about that was I didn't have to create anything extra.
Right.
It was something I had already created. I just made it limited time. And because I know that there are a number of people that watch these or sign up for these things and then never watch them. Right.
Yeah.
So that was I was really pleased with that as a conversion rate, and it was a great tripwire. And then I decided to charge for it, and I might make it free again. I don't know. But then I decided to charge for it, and then the sales actually dropped back quite significantly. So, but it's always interesting to experiment with these things. And then an order bump is when somebody buys one product, they then buy another product. You give them the opportunity to buy another product at the same time. So when somebody buys my content planning training, they have an option to buy my SEO training at 50% off.
Okay,
so
got it.
That then becomes so instead of it being a £47 sale or a £97 sale, it's a £150 sale.
Excellent.
So again, increasing the cart value quite significantly. And I tend to find that my order bump rate is quite high. So probably about 30 to 40% of people will buy the order bump.
Nice.
Which is pretty good.
And I'm going to just close this with this comment, and then we want to hear from you guys, either an aha or a question for Julie. Some of you found me from the coaching week I just recently did, right? I mean, just go ahead, and a couple of you, that's how you found me. And that was like a week before that, I figured out finally how to do this order bump tripwire situation. Because, there's things I'm learning constantly. Like, I mean, I probably lost out on lots and lots of upsells, is what we call them, because I had no idea how to do this. And it's actually rather simple once you know how to do it. And so I did a coaching week. Julie's doing a coaching week right now. She's in the middle of it. And so we've been able to share some of tips and tools and things. And I had never done this before. Some of you came in, it was $10. That's like a low entry into my ecosystem. Come on over, land here, kind of check things out, right? Because of that, a bunch of you have decided to do my next program. Why? Because you got to see, it's like the appetizer, the sampler. And then from there, I actually was shocked with the tripwire. It was because it was a paid, I guess it was order bumps. I was shocked that people actually bought stuff. I shouldn't be shocked. These are valuable things. These are trainings I have created, and they make sense. They make sense to the people that are purchasing them, and I was giving them at a discount. But, even me, I've been doing this a long time. We're constantly needing to get unafraid enough to try to implement that little thing. And then, seriously, I was shocked. I was like, oh my gosh, it works. So let's go ahead, and who has a question for Julie? Patty says she's got to go. Thank you for jumping in, Patty. Who has an aha or a question for Julie while she's still here with us? Anybody want to come on and share either an aha or a question?
Hey, Diane.
Hi,
Julie.
Hi.
So I was just sharing in the chat that just hearing you talk about your tripwire I got kind of excited because I'm working on my lead magnet right now. I thought, oh, maybe I could create a short video training. I'm a health coach, and so my lead magnet is about just steps that you can take. And I thought, well, maybe my first, my tripwire could be that 30-minute video training on how to evaluate the food that you eat. You can take it to the grocery store, you take it to the restaurant, just very practical, and it's very simple and effective for, whether you're 3 years old, I mean, even preschoolers can learn it, or 60. So it's valuable for anybody of any age. So that's kind of fun. Thank you.
Yeah, I love it. That's great.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you, Erin. Who else has an aha or a little, what nugget are you taking away? There's so many. Who else? Joe, go ahead.
I just really appreciate, well, hi, Julie and Diane, thank you for this. I just really appreciate some of the simple clarification, like Diane said too, she just learned how to do this. So I appreciate oh, this is what a tripwire is. And then when you explain it, it makes sense. It kind of trips someone up and gets them to put something in that cart and then keep moving into the ecosystem. Yeah, and the order bump upsell totally makes sense. And I bought lots of Diane's products. And it was, I felt like it was such a great deal. They were a great deal before, but I was like, how can I pass this up at this hugely discounted price? And it's just so valuable. But yeah, makes total sense. I appreciate bringing it to common person's terms before this is the part that I don't love. I like the connecting piece, but I appreciate it very much to make it easier. So thank you both.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
But also, Joe, use that. If connecting is what you like, then use that,
yes.
right?
Yes.
I fully give you permission to go out and just connect with everybody, and then you'll find that natural way for you to be able to share your stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, find your right places for connection.
Yes, I loved your superheroes, how you explain those differences too, and to use those strengths. Yeah.
It's so good. So good. Awesome. I love this. Who else wants to jump in and give Julie a shout or what you learned today? This is the good stuff, Who's next?
Diane, can I just share about my quiz?
Yeah. Share. Tell them about anything you want them to know right now. Go for it.
Cool. So I did the marketing superpower thing 4 years ago, but there's also something which is called the brand archetypes, 12 brand archetypes that people and businesses, this has been going around in the marketing world for years, probably 25 years, maybe even longer. And it's loosely built on Carl Jung's theories. Anyway, there are 12 brand archetypes, and these archetypes are things, so they are the explorer, the lover, the sage, the friend, well, I call them the friend or everyman, the rebel. There's a whole bunch of them. There's 12 of them. And I decided to take these archetypes and translate them from big business to the individual so that they are all about you as a personal brand, right? So what is your personal brand archetype? And when you really use this archetype, so in my case, I'm the sage, so I'm all about learning, teaching. That's my core one. My second one is the magician, which is all about transformation, so helping people to transform. And when you know what those two are, you can really leverage those in your marketing. So, and it's again part of that attraction strategy. So in terms of my marketing and product arc, the thing that I'm developing over the next few months is really this: what is your personal brand and how do you leverage that so that you can market more effectively, which kind of brings together the archetypes, the marketing superpower, and then your personal branding strategy. So if anybody is interested in figuring out what their personal brand archetype is, they can go to my website and take the quiz. You don't have to enter your email address. I've actually been, I'm just putting it in the chat.
Yeah.
I've done this in I'm trying an experiment with it, which is that you get the information if you want it. You don't have to enter your email address to find out what your archetype is, mainly because I didn't want people that on the list that were just curious, but didn't necessarily, my messaging didn't really resonate with them. And so you have the option to enter your email address, but you don't have to. And so far, I'd say about 50% of the people have and 50% of the people haven't. And there is an option also, once you see the results after that, to then enter your details later if you decide you'd actually like to know more. But the trick is, if you want to see, like when you do the quiz, so this is from a lead magnet perspective, if you do the quiz, it only really shows you your primary archetype. It tells you what the other ones are, but you don't get, like I've created a whole PDF which outlines all 12 of them. So when you figure out, and I tell you your top 3, when you figure out what your top 3 are, lots of people actually then want to go in and find out more about it because it resonates and connects with them. So I just wanted to share that. If you're interested in just understanding like what elements of yourself you can leverage, whether you're an adventurer or a rebel or a caregiver, then using that in your marketing. I'm all about helping you to stand out more, I think, in terms of your positioning, and this quiz is one of those things that helps you to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, I haven't done that yet, so I need to go do that.
You haven't done the quiz yet, Diane?
No, I need to. I've been playing with your other goodies. So we're about ready to stop. Julie, what else do they need to know? We've got the links to your quiz. We've got the links to your page. What else do you want them to know about what you have to offer?
So yeah, like just really, just have a look at the free stuff and see if there's anything in there that resonates for you. I'd love to support you in any way that I can. So there's lots of stuff around digital marketing. We've got the quiz, which is another option. When you're on my list, quite often I will do things for free, which I then charge for later. So there is definitely an advantage to being on the list if you're interested in this kind of stuff and supporting you with mostly with your marketing. And if online courses are of any interest, then that's also my kind of key areas are digital marketing, personal branding, and online courses. So thank you so much, Diane. It's been so fun talking to you about all this stuff.
I love it. So I just want to say thank you, Julie. And I want you guys all to remember, like, I'm not paying her, she's not paying me. You know what? And it's totally cool. It's totally good. This is the sweet stuff. This stuff lights me. I mean, I start to feel like I'm my own little Oprah. And it's good. It's really good. And so remember, reach out, ask somebody whether they will come teach your people or go teach their people. Pardon me, my timer is going off telling me to pray and surrender. We need timers for everything at this point. But I'm just so grateful for collaborations, for connection, for the reaching out. And I'm going to just close this because we could go on and on. There's so much to talk about. But thank you, Julie, for spending your time with us.
Oh, you're so welcome. I've loved every minute of it, Diane.
Oh, good. And
thank you, everybody, for your participation in the chat.
Awesome. Be sure to save the chat. If you want any of these links or the quotes or anything, you click on those 3 buttons. I'm going to close this with a little tiny short prayer for Michelle, who just got here. We just finished. Let me close this up. Father God, thank you for these new, fresh perspectives and ideas. And Lord, I pray that they will multiply and that we will go out and take action on them. And Lord, thank you for Julie's gifts and all the ways she reaches so many people. We just give you our business and ask you to help us to reach those that need what we have. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, ladies, thank you so much. And I will see you later on.
Thanks, Diane. Bye, everyone.
All right. Bye.